All right, so this is You Are Enough, Love Poems from the End of the World, for the End of the World, by Smoky Sumac. I'll have to put it up here because the glare, like, this isn't helping anybody. Smoky Sumac is a proud member of the Ktunaxa Nation. He is a PhD candidate in Indigenous Studies at Trent University, where his research centers on coming home stories from the Ktunaxa adoptee and two-spirit perspective. Smoky's work has been published in Write magazine and under his former name, he is a man of many, many names, in Canadian literature, Anekubijan, Wawakeshi, and on coffee sleeves as one of the winners of the Peterborough Art Week E-City Lit contest in 2015. He currently shares his time between Nogojiwanong, Peterborough, and Ithaca, New York. So this is a book of poetry written by an Indigenous author who identifies as Two-Spirit, and this is part of my personal work around reading more writing by Indigenous authors and also poetry. So yes, that is called You Are Enough, Love Poems for the End of the World. All right. I'm really excited about, well, I'm excited about all of them. So, okay, this is just gonna get ripped out because maybe I'll just, okay. All right, so, this is Manifest. This is a chapbook by Therese Mason Pierre. Therese is the writer and poet and editor who I interviewed a couple of videos back, and this just came out. So this is Manifest. It's poetry, speculative poetry, and there isn't a description. It was just published by Gap Riot Press in spring of 2020. So looking forward to it. Looks like it has about 10 to 15 poems in it. So yes, if you'd like to find out more about Therese, you can check the video where I interview her and she talks about her work, and I also talk about this, or she talks about this. So yes, now I have it. Beautiful cover. Okay, we are getting to the home stretch here. Okay, so this is an advanced review copy or a galley copy of the book Bastet's Legacy, written by Jamila Miles Smith. And she has a beautiful card. Thank you for helping us with the release of Bastet's Legacy. And Jamila writes, I hope you enjoyed getting lost in the story. Me too. So I'll just read the back here. So Jamila Mills Smith is a Canadian of Jamaican descent. She holds a bachelor's degree in marketing and lives in Toronto, Ontario. She loves all forms of storytelling and weaves tales that teach kids they are the protagonists of their own stories. Bastet's Legacy is her first novel, so she is a debut novelist. Congratulations. Jamila Freeman is just, oh, they have the same name. That's nice. Jamila Freeman is just your average teen. She gets good grades and hangs out with friends. She believes in facts, logic, and reason, but not myths or fairy tales, until she discovers she comes from a long line of Bastet women with magical abilities descended from the Egyptian cat goddess Bast. Jamila's life has changed forever, and she now must struggle to control her powers of seeing into the future, changing the flow of time, and protecting people and souls. When an ancient cult discovers her newfound powers, Jamila seeks the help of her aunt and family friend to develop her gifts and defend herself. As Jamila begins to develop her gifts, she battles not only her inner self, but also the evil that seeks to destroy her. She casts aside everything she's known to discover a part of herself she's never seen before. Will she be able to stand strong and accept this new form of reality, or will she fall prey to the predator that looms in the shadows? Nice. Bastet's Legacy by Jamila Mills Smith. So I will be reading this. I am going to review it as well. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it, but I'm ready. And I really, I noticed that I feel, when people say that starting trilogies or series can be sometimes hard because you don't want to wait until the other one. I'm kind of one of those people who like to collect all of the books before they start so that you're not left like, what happens next? Because who needs that? But yes, thank you very much for the physical arc. I don't accept electronic arcs because a book collector, I feel like I really respect the work of readers and reviewers, and it takes time. So I don't usually get electronic books, so I really appreciate it when an author sends me a physical copy of their book. Okay, so this, I don't think this is from the Book Fairies. I think, yeah, I purchased this myself. All right, so this is Luminescent Threads, Connections to Octavia E. Butler, edited by Alexandra Pierce and Mimi Mondal. Luminescent Threads celebrates Octavia E. Butler, a pioneer of science fiction who paved the way for future African American writers and other writers of color. Original essays and letters sourced and curated for this collection explore Butler's depiction of power relationships, her complex treatment of race and identity, and her impact on feminism and women in science fiction. Follow the luminescent threads that connect Octavia E. Butler and her body of work to the many readers and writers who have found inspiration in her words and the complex universes she created. So that's beautiful. I'm always ready for any book about Octavia E. Butler. And I'm already seeing some names I recognize, like Alaya Dawn Johnson, Cherie Renee Thomas, Dr. Karen Lord, Nisi Shaw, Moya Bailey, Tara Betts. Who else do I recognize? Jennifer Marie Brissett, Rebecca Holden, Andrea Hairston, Jewel Gomez, Valjean Jeffers. Who else do I recognize? Kathleen Kayembe, Nnedi Okorafor, Kate Tempest Bradford, Alex Jennings, Steve Barnes. Yeah, so a lot of writers have contributed to this collection. Indra Das. Many names that I recognize and many names that I do not. So I am looking forward to this. This is probably going to be a book that I read slowly as part of the Octavia E. Butler Slow Read that I'm co-hosting with Tatiana from Musical Tati and Isis from Sista Sci-Fi. So that's Luminescent Threads. It's going to go on my Octavia Butler shelf. Okay, and the last set of books are books that I got from Another Story bookshop. And to maintain some surprise for me, I finally have a copy of this, A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. A Song Below Water is the story for today's readers, a captivating modern fantasy about black mermaids. Friendship and self-discovery set against the challenges of today's racism and sexism. Yes, name that. Name what we go through. Thank you. In a society determined to keep her under lock and key, Tabia must hide her siren powers. Meanwhile, Effie is fighting her own family struggles as she is pitted against the literal demons from her past. Together, these best friends must navigate the perils of high school junior year. It's like Sweet Valley High, except not at all. But everything changes in the aftermath of a siren murder trial that rocks the nation when Tabia accidentally lets out her magical voice at the worst possible moment. Yes! Come with the, like, you know, using your voice and it causing problems, but then potentially being the one thing that saves you and everyone you love. Soon, nothing in Portland, Oregon seems safe. To save themselves from drowning, Tabia and Effie's unbreakable sisterhood must prove the strongest magic of all. Yes, come with the, doesn't necessarily need to be romantic, friendship, black love between girls / mermaids. Yes. Give it all to me. I am ready for this. So yes, I'm very happy. It's very promising. Okay. Aha. This is, okay, so this is a novel by Nikki Drayden called The Hero of Numbani, and this is so many of these are new releases. So Song Before Water is a new release. I still haven't done my 2020 anticipated reads video, which I have feelings about, but that's okay because I promised myself not to be a perfectionist, so I'm gonna keep that promise. Okay, so this is The Hero. I don't know what Overwatch is. But okay, it doesn't matter. All right. The world still needs heroes. Are you with us? Enter the first ever original novel for Overwatch, the worldwide gaming sensation from Blizzard Entertainment. Okay, it's a book, and it has illustrations in it. In the technologically advanced African city of Numbani, in the not-so-distant future, humans live in harmony with humanoid robots known as Omnics. But when a terrorist tries to shatter that unity, a hero named Effie Oladele rises. Effie has been making robots since she was little. Effie, I love you, Effie. Since she was little, machines to better her community and improve people's lives. Brittany, you want to read this. But after she witnesses Doomfist's catastrophic attack on the city OR-15 security bots, Effie feels the call to build something greater, a true guardian of Numbani. While Doomfist sows discord between humans and Omnics, Effie engineers an intelligent and compassionate robot, Orisha. See, the Orisha are everywhere. Orisha, named after the powerful spirits who guide her people. Come, Nikki. Orisha has a lot to learn before she's ready to defeat Doomfist, but Effie has some learning to do too, especially when it comes to building and being a hero. When Doomfist rallying his forces and the military powerless to stop him. With Doomfist rallying his forces and the military powerless to stop him, can Effie mold Orisha into the hero of Numbani before it's too late? This action-packed novel is an all-new original story straight from the minds of the Overwatch game team. I mean, it sounds like a story that's originally from the mind of Nikki Drayden, who wrote it. So, let's maybe give her credit, because she wrote it. Overwatch game team. So, yes. So, Nikki wrote Temper. So, this was her second novel. And her first novel is Prey of Gods, which is over there, which I read with Maya from Maya Reads. So, Maya, are you interested in buddy reading this? Let me know. But yes, this came out this year. So this is a 2020 read. It looks like it's published by, it's Scholastic. It's either middle grade or new adult, young adult, I don't know. But it's for young people. And people born in a decade, because we can read anything we want. Okay, another 2020 release is The Sound of Stars by Alicia Dow. So you should watch the interview with Alicia Dow that Audrey did. It's part of Quarantined Pages, so I will link it up here. And yes, so this is The Sound of Stars. This is a debut novel written by Alicia Dow. Alicia Dow is awesome. I found out about Alicia Dow because I watched the Social Distance Book Fest, and she was one of the panelists, and I was like, you're awesome. So yes, 2 years ago, a misunderstanding between the leaders of Earth and the invading Ilori resulted in the deaths of 1/3 of the world's population. 17-year-old Janelle Ellie Baker survives in an Ilori-controlled center in New York City. With humans deemed dangerously volatile because of their initial reaction to the invasion, emotional expression can be grounds for execution. Not so science fiction. Music, art, and books are illegal. But Ellie breaks the rules by keeping a secret library. Oh, bless Ellie. When a book goes missing, Ellie is terrified that the Ilori will track it back to her and kill her. Born in a lab, MOR1S, Morris, was raised to be emotionless. When he finds Ellie's illegal library, he's duty-bound to deliver her for execution. The trouble is, he finds himself drawn to human music and in desperate need for more. They're both breaking the rules for the love of art, and Ellie inspires the same feelings in him that music does. Ellie's and humanity's fate rests in the hands of an alien she should fear. M-O-R-R-I-S, Morris, has a lot of secrets, but also a potential solution thousands of miles away. The two embark on a wild and dangerous road trip with a bag of books and their favorite albums, all the while creating a story and a song of their own that just might save them both. Oh, like, everybody who talks about this book has just been like, oh, this is really sweet. Almost everybody. There was one naysayer. I got you. But yes, it is. This is sweet. This is great. I'm really looking. And the colors, peacock colors, right? Totally into that. All right. This is the last book. The last book is Shadow Shaper Legacy by Danielle Jose Older. And all I'll say about this is that it is it the final? It is book 3 of the Shadow Shaper Cipher. So the Shadow Shaper Cipher consists of, so far, I'm not sure where the first one is. It's somewhere over here. Okay, so the first book was okay, I forget the name of the first book, unfortunately. I thought it would be referenced here. Okay, well, your fingers in Google will be faster than me. So I believe that the Shadow Shaper Cipher only consists of 3 books, but I'm not sure. So the second book is Shadow House Fall. I'll put the first book over here. So that's the first book. And then book 2 is Shadow House Fall. And book 3 is Shadow Shaper Legacy. So that is I hope it's a trilogy, but I want to capture all the books before I continue with the series. Written by Danielle Jose Older. The main character is an Afro-Latinx girl. I really like this story. I did a review, one of my favorite reviews, because I did it in an alley with great graffiti in my neighborhood. It was very, very early on in this channel's history, so I really loved it, and I like Danielle Jose Older as a person, and I also like him as a writer. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I like his personality because he's funny. And he's also a paramedic and also practices Ifa, so it's just a very interesting connection of things. And so far, the writing that I've read from him is very contemporary fantasy, urban fantasy, as they say, that is written from the perspective of Afro-Latinx people or Latinx people. So yeah, I'm hearing footsteps in the house. Okay, that's all I got. This video is probably going to be 40 minutes, and I apologize, but I'm on vacation, so I don't need to rush for nobody. So here we are. That is it. Are you interested in any of the books that I have featured? Are you planning on reading any of the books that I have featured? If you have made it all the way to the end, please include an icon of a vehicle in your comment. I want to see trucks. I want to see planes. I want to see boats and bikes and scooters and mopeds and all the things. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Today I am going to, whose video will I shout out today? Whose channel? So many great channels to choose from. Yes, I believe her channel name is Olivia's Catastrophe. Anyway, if I get that wrong, I'll just record over it. But she just did an Afrofuturism haul, and she is writing, either it's a master's research paper or a master's thesis or a PhD thesis on Afrofuturism, Afro and Caro futurism. And yes, I hope to be buddy reading some Afro or Caro futurism with her, and I really support people taking up the literature in an academic context and writing about the importance of these works, especially at this time. It is a very important time for all of us to be imagining worlds where the needs of African people from the continent and also African people of the diaspora across gender, across ability, across sexual orientation and religion are important and are viewed and are valued. So I love that. So I'm going to shout out her channel, and if you are interested in learning more about her and what she does, then you should definitely subscribe. With that, I will say, read with purpose, have a wonderful Friday, and thank you very much for watching. I will see you in my next video. See ya.